What happened?
My bad. It wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah, I was like, what happened?
And I was going to give you some credit too, because it says you are now tuned to BS3, and I'm like, "Ooh, that shit is tight," and then you messed it up.
Then you loosened it up.
Where'd you get that at, man? This you're now tuned in to BS3 Network.
Surprise! I got some drops that a radio guy did for us. I'm gonna send those to you.
Please.
Yeah, real quick and in a hurry.
Oh wow!
Yeah, welcome to the Fourcast. We review movies, documentaries, films in a completely different way, like you've never seen before, 4 different perspectives. And we come at you every single Monday, same time, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, on all BS3 Network platforms. So we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live on Twitter, Twitch, and most importantly, BS3 TV. So you can watch us on your Roku device or your Roku TV. Very easy to do. Just add the channel just like you would add any other app on your TV, BS3 TV. So we're coming at you tonight with Swan Song. It's a Apple TV original. It was one of these I was wanting to watch, so I'm glad we got a chance to do this. But let's kind of go around the horn. I'm gonna go to one of my not one of my coworkers, Dawk.
What's going on, good people? What am I supposed to be saying right now?
We just how you doing? Introduction.
Just trying to survive. I'm looking at folks over here panicking in the Florida area because there's rain. And there's these storms and this tornado warning. You gonna be all right?
Storm,
just relax.
Keep on raging.
Yeah, and my mama would be very upset with me right now because we used to couldn't use the phone, the TV, nothing when
cut the lights off.
And I got
they calling? Don't they know it's storming? The Lord ain't working.
And I got all kind of electronics around me. No, I'm good. I'm good. Shout out to our Man Talk Mondays crew who come on over after Man Talk. We appreciate you. Had a good time over there with those fellas. So. Yep.
Great show.
Other than that,
King collabo, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
So just chilling, man. Just chilling.
HRap.
I'm good, man. Grow my weed out.
Chia.
Put some water on there.
What'd you do with this? You trying to tell me to read between the lines with this, man?
No. What's it?
Yeah.
Trying to get a sweet daddy going, boy.
Yeah.
Next week, my joint's gonna be all the way down here.
DJ Ramal, he got it right. Can't even talk in the storm yet. Be quiet. You in the dark.
Yeah. Man, you just gotta shut up and enjoy that storm.
Exactly.
Yeah, when they came out with surge protectors, that was a problem in the black neighborhood, boy, because there was some arguments.
Yes.
Hey,
we got backup.
One time I was on the phone. Oh my God, I forgot about this. No BS. This is in this century, not in 19. I'm on the phone. It was cutting up here. I mean, it was acting a fool. Boom, thunder and everything. Big Illinois was like, "Hey man, get off the phone, man." I was like, "Dude,
wow,
cell phone."
Wow.
I swear to God.
Say it ain't so big,
you couldn't even take a bath or a shower. The light was gonna come through the house and then you're in the tub. What are you talking about?
This is a big Illinois right here.
Big Illinois got off the phone, Jack.
Wow.
When he wanted to, I was like, hey, Aunt, you not connected to the wires. He's like, oh, man, you better tell me something.
I didn't know. I thought it was a trash can.
Rucker Park in the building.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. All right, Wilks, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Doing all right. Had some nice little rain in this area. I guess it kind of moved on. It's not doing anything now. I stepped outside a little bit, but other than that, it's good.
Keep playing with Jesus. Keep playing.
That's all right. I was about to take a nap. This rain was going down. I was like, man, I need to go to sleep, but I had to stay up.
Definitely the perfect nap weather for sure.
Right.
All right, Lamar Williams, DJ Ramal, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your support. Raider Kev in the building. What's up, fam? How you doing? Kirby Alexander, which I was able to see him in the flesh on Friday night, rapping with HRap, right? It was good to see you, you guys talking in chat. Y'all was going in. So
that was my longest one, man.
Yeah, I took my.
It was 2 hours and 58 minutes.
Yeah. Wow. I took my parents were here this past week, so I took my dad out to dinner, and I was like, "Oh, HRap is on," so I'm gonna pop in and say hi. We didn't get home for like 2 hours, and I got back home, and I was like, "HRap's still on," so it's a good conversation. Sure. Yeah. Friday was a great show. Definitely it was.
Yeah, I made him look good.
What you supposed to do with your friends? Make them look good. Set them up.
Y'all didn't even know he'd be like this outside.
All right, so Apple TV original Swan song by, and we're gonna get into this first. Mahershala Ali. This boy been putting in some work.
White.
And he's getting ready to do Blade.
Boy is a white racist word.
It's not from a white person. It's from me.
Oh, is that where we're going?
I'm there with him.
Huh?
I'm there with him.
You there with Dawk or with me?
I'm with you, Ben.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's all right. You can call him this boy. You only say you can call him a boy if you say, man, he's a bad boy, but you can't say this boy.
You can say it.
We can say it. That's
I don't care who you are. And this is the guy who thinks 65 is a high body count. In case for those who didn't watch the other
it is.
Well, shit, I'm in trouble then. I'm closer to Wilks numbers than that.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
On that note, I'm out.
You thought early.
All right, but yeah, back to Mahershala Ali. Dude is bad, though.
He definitely is.
He's bad, man.
Man, shows some versatility in this movie. He was in
Moonlight, Green Book.
Did it start with Moonlight? Did it
No, Green Book was first from my account. But he was also in Alita, Battle Angel, Hunger Games, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse.
He was Cottonmouth. He was Cottonmouth, and
for me, it was when I first saw him. It was House of Cards when I first started.
Yeah, even though I saw Moonlight was the first thing I saw. I mean, yeah, House of Cards. He was great in that, wasn't he, man?
Yeah.
He was great in House of Cards.
That's when I ran into him. I had never heard of him.
He was great. If you hadn't seen House of Cards as a series, just for Mahershala Ali alone, there's some fantastic writing in there. Unfortunately, Kevin Spacey ruined it for everybody by touching dudes. And he got Me Too'd. I think he may have been the first dude Me Too on dude action.
I think so.
He the only dude.
No. Play that in.
No, he the only dude on dude Me Too.
Yeah, thank you, Raider Kev.
Michael, of course. Which Mike are you talking about?
Mike from Good Time.
Yeah, he used to say that all the time.
But I the first thing I seen him in was Hunger Games, which he was kind of a person that helped to get Jennifer Lawrence kind of set up for going into the arena and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the dude is solid.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, this is the question that me and Ben. I told Ben I had a question for us. In Hollywood, why the bros don't get discovered or get recognition until they 38 years old?
What you mean?
Because we always got to work harder. In every arena. We got to work 2 times harder. We're not going to do this until we.
Like it's a rare occasion that, like we've been watching Brad Pitt since he was in his teens, and what's my man at Iron Man? And it seems like the brothers don't get popping until they 32 years old.
Well, I'll say this: they don't get popping to a certain community. We already see that they've been popping. Yeah, they're not seen as popping to the other community. I think.
it just seems like they don't start getting big roles until they.
I think Mayhem is in the same category. I am trying to give it some thought. We can't really argue it right now because we don't have anybody that pops in the mind. So like you may very well be right. We want to argue against it, but we got no evidence at all.
and the only really true, I mean, outside of Denzel, I mean,
but he was older when he got his,
because he came from Saint Elsewhere,
right,
to Glory. No.
Somewhere
a soldier story, Saint Elsewhere, Glory, then the Spike Lee run, and then he was.
Yeah. Because he was probably in his, what was he in his early 30s?
What
happened?
They don't get to dress until they get older.
No kidding. Wow.
Black Swan, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your support doing it when we're live or commenting afterwards. We appreciate that.
Yeah, that's just kind of weird to me, man.
Yeah. No, you're right.
We continue because I can't. I know it. I can see the look all over Wilks' face because he was trying. He had the same struggle I did. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Because you might blow when you're young, and then you fade out, and then you pop up again in your 30s, mid to late 30s, and you're like, hey man, you could have been.
Is it because of the roles that they're taking? Is that what it is? Is it like that role comes in later? Like, hey, you look like you would fit this role, but is that what happened?
Chances are it's probably because of the opportunities more than the roles. I don't know that they're turning down stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would doubt that because you're trying to eat, early on.
Yeah. Right. You're trying to take whatever role's paying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to really get your foot in the door to do it.
It's hard to argue. To be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah,
because I mean, like Fishburne been around.
Because we're not talking about. We don't see him in anything, right? We see him in stuff, but he's talking about the recognition.
Yeah,
and
they blow up.
Yeah, and he's right.
There's a little background music.
I can't get no. You can't see. You the kind of kid who used to tear shit up on Christmas morning. You can't get no joke or no new stuff. That's broken already.
I broke the Casio already, man.
Gotta try it out while you're on here. All right, so.
Now that's a little insensitive with Ukraine and Russia going on. I shouldn't be playing that side.
Hey man, that's my pastor, man. They don't get to dress until they get older.
Really?
Oh, that's
That's my kind of pastor right there.
Pastor James Dodd. Thank you for tuning in.
I wonder if he related to LL Cool J. Oh, that's James Todd. My bad.
Yeah, that's James Todd.
Todd.
Come on, Wilks. You're supposed to be with me on this, man.
That's why I let it go.
Come on, man. You know that's our stuff.
I was like, oh, that's James Todd. Yeah.
You're supposed to be. You catching that.
You knew I would catch it.
I was there. I was just waiting for somebody to correct it. I was like, somebody's going to correct it.
Yeah, that's your job on this show.
All right. Swan Song, Mahershala Ali, Apple TV. Apple TV's been putting out some quality stuff. They also got a Samuel Jackson, I think it's a series that actually looks
really.
It looks awesome.
Walter Mosley.
Oh, if it's Samuel L. Jackson, I'm in.
Yeah, it's It's based on a Walter Mosley novel. So,
and hey, shout out to Lily, one of the baby queens. Shout out to my work wife, Alicia. Shout out to who else tried to give me one of my side pieces. Hey, I appreciate y'all for trying to give me your Apple IDs. When you come through for brothers.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
I didn't want no free trial here. I got a good side here.
Right.
Or you can always go the other route, which we'll talk about that.
Nah.
All right, so initial thoughts, Swan Song, and also I want to point out this is one of the dopest covers I think I've seen in a while. Just the way that the design of it, and you realize that if you watch the movie. But HRap, initial thoughts.
I mean, I thought it was awesome. Like you said in the pre-show fist fight. I think it's original. and I have a few thoughts on it. I enjoyed it. You know, one of the reasons I really enjoyed it is because it's always good to see a flat out black love story. No foolishness, no nonsense, no clowning. It was just a flat out black love story. Unlike Baba, our late ancestor, Baba Dick Gregory, he had to point out to most people in the world that Django also was a love story.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right.
And it's good to see people on the screen that look like us that actually love their significant other, and she ain't chicken necking and acting a fool. And it was just dope to see that. And then I do have a few other things on the commentary side, but
yeah, you reminded me of something, HRap, that I need to get to you on, because you were saying something back in the green room before we went live about something. You were saying something about some squeeze or something like that. You want to talk about that, man?
My daughter.
Oh, okay. I thought you was talking about one of your.
No. I posted a picture of me and my daughter today.
Okay, I was trying to get you in trouble, but it didn't work out.
I'm cutting your ties when I get it.
Raider Kev, I agree too. But Dawk, we go to you. Initial thoughts.
Yeah, I loved it. You know, Mahershala Ali is quickly becoming one of my favorite actors, and he's one of those kind of dudes. I wish he was in more things, to be perfectly honest with you. And Naomi Harris, she's got this, so it's easier who's going to be the beauty of the week, right? It's either her or Glenn Close, right? It's easy. It's a slam dunk, right?
Glenn ain't close.
I got a feeling if Glenn would have got naked like what's her name? Her booty would have looked the same as what's that other chick name?
Yeah, I can't think of her.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. I bet Glenn Close got Meryl Streep booty. But so Naomi Harris, she's got this sneaky beauty, man. You know, it's not just this drop dead gorgeous situation, but
speak for yourself.
Ooh, and she's got, and then you add this foreigner concept in with her because she's from England or somewhere like that, you know, and that's legit.
She's from my dreams.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm down with it, you know, and I can see, believe it or not, I can see why a lot of people wouldn't like this movie. Some people can't handle a movie like this because it moves slowly. And they got to have bang, bang, bang moving real quick. So they'd have got bored. But I'm not like that. I think it's part of our microwave society too, you know, is that we got to have a lot of action and keeping our attention and all this other kind of stuff, you know. But it is the kind of movie you can watch and be messing with your phone at the same time. So that's the good news.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Wilks.
I thought it was trash. But then it took me 2 more watches.
Whoa.
And then it was like, I kind of went into it overthinking it is my problem. I do that a lot with movies because I'm real critical with movies like this. I love movies. And it's like, when I watched it, I'm like,
the audience doesn't like that. They are booing you.
But no, it was good. It was good. Of course, you know, it also kind of stood out to me when, you know, Apple and Google are trying to move into these artificial intelligence, but you can't really say this is artificial intelligence because
it's going to be a part of it at some point. And to me, you know what, when I was watching this, man, not to interrupt you, which I'm going to interrupt you, but part of it was, for me, is not necessarily even the quality of the movie, but the talking points about how close this is to reality and what would you do in a situation and all that other kind of stuff. That's just as fascinating about whether the movie was any good or not.
Absolutely. And how they blurred the lines of technology hasn't completely taken over. You don't see flying cars yet, but you see autonomous cars and, you know, driving themselves, and we're doing that now. But
and cars that people got to be driving,
right? And to me, it was just like bringing your self-consciousness into reality in a fleshly form, if that makes sense. That's what I felt like. It was like you're leaving your conscious behind for those that will not pick up on the fact that it's just a copy, but not the real thing. But I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was well done. Man, there was one song in there that stood out in the beginning, but I didn't continue that artist. I don't know if Dawk caught that, but
There is a playlist. There is a playlist on Apple Music.
yeah,
I missed that because normally that's something that stands out to me, and the soundtrack didn't stand out to me.
Yeah, it wasn't a soundtrack because it was like songs that were already released that they just used in the movie.
But that one guy, that first song that they played, it kind of caught my ear. But I wanted to hear more of him, so I'll have to play it.
Did you know who that artist was right over here?
You know what? I have to look it up. But
why don't we come back to you? Look it up, Mo.
Yeah, we'll come back to it, man.
We'll be right back to you. I love this comment by Raider Kev. I love the flow because it allowed you to dwell on the details.
Exactly.
It allowed you to dwell on
you're thinking about what's happening.
Yeah.
You living it with it, man. You living the struggle with the dude.
Yeah. The reason I really liked it is because my initial thought on this is a good old-fashioned movie. It's a story.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a bunch of things happening. This is the unfolding of a story, like the origin story that they call it in comic book movies.
Right.
And that's what I really liked about this.
Yeah, and I thought they did a fantastic job of establishing the future with the visuals and the integration of technology and the driverless cars and all, so they put you in that time period. Like, right. This is where we are. Forget what your life is right now, and you completely bought the fact that, yep, they can do this,
Yeah, it's doable. It made it seem like it was doable.
Right now, you felt like, because you start challenging yourself, oh shit, what would I do? If I had the money to be able to do it,
Exactly. Shout out to Theodora. That's good evening, guys. If you're on the BS3 Network group, make sure to click the link that's in the description so that we can see who you are.
Mm-hmm. And I put it in the chat too.
Okay. Yeah, you did pop in.
Yeah, I'll send it to you if you're gonna. But I mean, if you play it, you have to, it's copyright, so you might want.
Yeah, I probably won't play it, but you can just say who it is and the name.
Yeah, I think it's Moses. Some last name pronounced
Malone.
No, Moses Sumney. Sumeney.
He's saying Malone.
The song is
okay. Spell it one more time. Spell the last name one more time.
The last name Sumeney.
Okay.
He's a Guyanan American.
That song kind of caught my attention, so I'm curious to see what else he.
Is it Man on the Moon? I think it was Man on the Moon.
It may have been the first one, Man on the Moon, because he had other songs in there too. He had one toward the end, and then he had the one in the opening.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check him out later.
Check him out, sure.
Kind of caught my ear, of course. And then the sketching really caught my attention because that's kind of something in my wheelhouse. So it's like I enjoy.
Yeah,
that.
she's okay. So you're a sketcher as well?
Yeah, I like to sketch from time to time when I get it. It's been so long, but I noticed my daughter is picking up on some of that from me and my wife. My wife is really good too.
Oh, I love it.
But my daughter is on her iPad constantly. I mean, I think my daughter is doing pretty good with it. So she's got her imagination with it. So
I love it.
Of course,
all types of art, man.
Yeah, my mom, she's actually growing up. My mom would paint. So watching her paint, my dad
Mozart. Mozart sat down to paint.
I'm start calling Wilks Brocasso.
So I mean,
artists with the food and with the pencil.
Right.
Music.
Well, that's kind of that's like when I'm plating. That's kind of my thing. It's like that's another canvas for me. So I enjoy it. So and it's one of those things. Like I love museums. I love artwork. I love abstract art. I love sculptures. I mean, it's just one of those things where I enjoy it. I like the performing arts. I like all that stuff. Like,
that's why I go to strip clubs, because the art of it. Man,
hey, that's artistry, baby.
Damn.
Especially when she's got no arms and two legs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You grab that pole, baby.
Or I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot
pole.
Oh.
And for those of you in social media land, that's eggplant. Thank you. We're gonna let that go.
All right, so the going into the beginning of the movie, I mean, I could already tell it was futuristic.
Okay, this music is distracted, man.
You don't like this music?
You try. Y'all don't even hear it.
Well, I hear some.
Yeah, see, it's just like, yeah.
No, I can tell you.
It sounds like popcorn.
I'm gonna tell you how much I could block that out. Y'all always bring up the soundtrack. I never hear any of those songs.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
Never.
And the funny thing is that Quentin Tarantino said he has the soundtrack before he has the movie.
Yeah, I love
it.
Really? Yeah.
No
So
comment.
going into the initial of the movie, it was futuristic. The whole movie actually was, obviously. We already kind of touched on a couple of the pole art. So he said the pole is art.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah.
Pole art.
But the scene at the beginning, I just felt like that was a relatable scene of you actually meeting someone. It was funny.
I love that, man. That whole
the
way they see, I'm gonna tell you too, they let that develop, man. They didn't rush through that thing.
Yeah.
They let it breathe and let it just happen, you know. So I thought that was very clever, man.
Yeah,
the whole candy bar, they had me on the candy bar. I swore that was his candy bar, man.
That's what I thought too.
It had me.
Yeah. I did too. I
knew it wasn't his candy.
Because I don't remember him ever putting it in his pocket. I don't know if they showed that part.
Once I would like to go back and see, but I think they did show that. But he did it so slick, it was not a significant move in what he was doing. So I think that's why we missed it.
Yeah, but that seemed like something that could actually happen. So it was relatable, which I think that was the part that
very
really
clever.
That's how you know it was the future, though, because she'd have been chicken necking big time in 2022.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
Did they ever say where they were, like what country or what state or what anything like that?
They never mentioned. Beautiful shots, though.
Yeah, really.
They gave us a Simpsons on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe I don't know, Alaska or something, just based on the
I was thinking like Seattle, because when I think of futuristic,
okay, I got you.
Seattle or France.
Somewhere with some space is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
No, I just, when I think about the future, seeing like that's like the hub of technology, I always think of that, or when I think of like different things, and because her and her brother had accents, I assumed it was France.
Yeah, that would be a good assumption. So Cameron was Mahershala Ali. Obviously, you could tell he was dealing with an illness because I think when he got home, he basically collapsed, and then he was trying to close the door. So I wanted to kind of introduce this. How many, or which one of us, or how many of us would go at it that way? So you don't want your spouse to or your significant other to recognize, hey, I'm dealing with something, but I don't necessarily want to talk about it. How y'all feel about that part?
Well, I'll let you. Hammer.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Mayhem?
No, not me. Go ahead.
Let's let the married guys answer that question first. Then we'll come in and shut it down.
I mean, I would tell my wife, just because
she's watching.
I love it, man.
But probably wouldn't say anything.
In watching this movie, like he really could have died at any point. I mean, they perfectly played it to where he didn't. But then when he was in the front yard and he collapsed, he could have died right then and there. And then she would have came up on him and been like, I didn't know anything was wrong with him. So, I would definitely tell my wife.
Man,
I don't know. I'd have to be the guy with the bad liver. I'd have to keep drinking brown alcohol.
Wow.
Well, yeah, whatever. I'll be dead in a few months, but that's okay. I mean,
would you tell?
Would
you tell Kelly though? Would you tell her?
Nah. I'll be like, oh, I got dizzy.
Let's see. Okay, HRap, I'm gonna let you go, and then I'll say what I need to say.
You see, you some bullshit coming behind me. Hey, salute to my brother Larry Brandon.
Yes, sir. I
I
told
feel like the
you,
old folks.
if your name sound old, it's HRap free, and then we got a Larry.
Larry don't sound old, man. If his name is Lawrence.
Ain't nobody had naming kids Larry.
Nobody naming their kids Larry.
Imagine if you took your kid to kindergarten, he got his friend named Larry. What you gonna say?
Hey, I had a friend named Larry. You went
exactly 50 years ago.
That's right. That's right.
I love Larry. We messing with you, man. If you family, we know you can handle it.
Oh yeah. Hey man. Hey, you know, my favorite moment with Larry for 1 second is about 20 years after my crew, I used to keep them in trouble. They actually sacrificed half of our junior year for me, sticking up for me. And we were at a cookout 20 years later, and we was laughing about it. And Larry go, yeah, we could have graduated a little faster if it weren't for your ass. We should have got rid of you. But what I tell my hold it. Do I know these options? Do I know that these options are available?
I don't need options. I got brown liquor.
See, okay, let's use it based on today's standard. No, it's based on today's medicine.
Oh, it's based on today's standards. Yeah, I'm gonna let my old lady know I'm finna crow.
Okay.
I'm getting free food in the bed and all that, Jack.
I'm like the old folks. You don't need to know my doctor's business. You don't need to know my doctor's
until I'm dead.
I'm probably not going to say anything regardless, whether it's today's time or whether it's tomorrow's time. And for me, it's simply because, and I think, to believe it or not, I think at the very least, half the men out there aren't saying anything because that's kind of the way we operate naturally. Think about the house right now. We all of us have relatively new houses here in Forney, so it doesn't apply. But think about the older houses you used to live in and how many things you saw when you walked around that you knew needed to be addressed. You didn't go tell your wife all that stuff. We keep stuff like that. We just have our own list in our head, to-do list, and we never. I remember when I was married back in the day, over 10 years ago. So it'd have been probably about 15 years or so ago. And she was saying, well, you don't tell me anything. And I said, grab a notepad right quick. Go get a notepad and a pen. She got a notepad and a pen. I said, let's start in the backyard. I started in the backyard and we were going to walk around the house. Before we got to the back door, she goes, I get it. I said, these are the things I think about every day. I can't tell you all this kind of stuff. I got it. It's my responsibility, but I think about it and I have to determine, okay, we got this chunk of money. What am I going to spend it on? What's the most important? And I'm not trying to put you with that.
And just to back it up with what Dawk was saying,
I want my feet rubbed. I'm finna die. I don't care. I
better be getting that living here.
Hey. Kind of like what Dawk was saying. The funny thing is that and I know it's not anything to pass on, unfortunately. But I mean, I watched it with my grandparents. My grandfather, in '94, and no telling how long he had chest pains. And, he's on the phone one Sunday telling his good friend that, hey, I think I'm going to go up to the VA hospital. I see him outside up against the tree, laboring, trying to get in the car. And I'm like, Grandma, you might have to get Granddaddy up to the hospital. So it's no telling how long he had been dealing with those chest pains, which eventually now we discovered that it became congestive heart failure. Mm-hmm. So it was one of those things where, like I just said, a lot of people in that era, in that time, they didn't talk about that sickness. They didn't talk about that business. Yeah.
Now, which we probably should. I'm going to get treated. I'm not saying I'm not going to be getting treatments, but I'm just not going to tell everybody.
Well, the reason I would tell is because my mother did exactly what his grandfather did. My mother, up until she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, functioning on 3/4 of one lung. Mm-hmm. And she thought she had a cold.
Right.
So that's why I would say something, because it messed everybody up. And it didn't really mess with me too much, because in my mind, and I'm talking about up until I literally saw my mother take her last breath, it never crossed my mind that my mother was gonna die.
How long did y'all know she was sick before she passed?
About a year.
Okay, but she knew how long approximately.
My mother had been sick I honestly believe my mother had this situation where her carotid artery was clogged. And that was like 5 years before she passed. I think she found out that day that she had lung cancer.
Yeah. See, some people don't want the family to have to carry that burden for that long.
She didn't want it. But you know what, man? Being there every day with my mother and, you know, now, you know, because this is it. When you don't tell your loved ones, you leave me and my sisters
Thank you, Reddick. Yeah.
to wonder what if we would have known. Her sister and her brother, what if we would have known? And that's why I would tell, because you don't want to burden people, but I'm telling you, every day I wonder, literally every day, if I think about when, ain't no if, when I think about my mother, I go, I wonder what would have happened if she would have got treated when she was at 3, when she was at a lung and a quarter.
See, I think that's two different conversations. We're talking about
no, I'm saying when
treatment versus telling somebody.
No, when you don't tell people, you leave them to wonder those things for the rest of their lives.
If she was getting treatment or not?
No, she wasn't. She didn't get treatment.
So that's what I'm saying. That's two different things. I'm saying telling people versus getting treatment. I would get the treatment, but I still wouldn't be telling them.
But I wouldn't tell you why I'm getting treatment.
He's saying when you don't tell, that affects the person afterwards. The people that are left.
It leaves. Well, I think that's kind of like what this movie addresses. It addresses the grief.
So it's gonna affect them while you're there, or it's gonna affect them after you're there. Either way,
what I'm saying is, it's like, okay, I'm remembering, because I used to go to the oncologist with my mom all the time. When we first got there, her tumors were an inch long. They were 1 inch. After 6 months of treatment, they got cut in half. So just now, I'm wondering. I'm left here to wonder: had she said something 2.5 years early instead of just waiting to 5? With mama, in my mind, she would be here.
Right.
Yeah, I get
it's
that.
One of those. It's a preemptive thing, is what he's saying.
But I think, but see, this is again. I'm still saying that's whether you get treatment. You don't have to tell people to get treatment. See, you could be getting treatment without anybody knowing. That's not a requirement for treatment. Is have you told your family? They probably suggest it because they want you to get the support and all that other kind of stuff. But it's not necessary, And trust me, my family does not like that about me. Should I be coming back from full broke bones and stuff, and they don't know about it? You done had, boy, you broke your.
Now I'm good.
Them the ATV accidents you know about. I done had 3 or 4. You have no clue happened. I'm recovered from already. See this car? And I just don't tell them everything because I know how my mama and my sisters worry. So I don't.
And I think that's kind of like with my grandmother. Like she may have. Well, I didn't hear anything. I don't know if my mom knew, but just like with breast cancer, like I didn't realize my grandmother had it until they had removed it, and she had major back surgery. So it was just one of those things where they just did not talk about those things. And my grandmother was not going for treatments. This was the last minute. Died in 1997. She went through what she went through from 96 into 97, but prior to that, no other major treatments that I'm aware of. So I mean, she was just not even doing treatment.
Some people don't want you fussing over them either. Just making a fuss of it. They're like,
my grandmother was absolutely, yeah. My grandmother was not. She was definitely, like I said, she wasn't one to talk about it. And she definitely wasn't going to get no treatments for it because she said, if I'm going out of here, I'm going out of here. So it was just what grandma did.
And we got the call-in number up on the screen as we're talking about this conversation.
Yeah.
You know how we do on the show. We gonna flow so wherever the conversation
call us now with your TV ministry blessings.
I'm King Dawk Papa.
I got that.
Yeah, you remember that? Did you have men's fellowship that Friday when Peter Popoff came up? Where this dude was complaining that his mama was sending all her money to Peter Popoff?
Yeah.
You was there that night?
Oh, Lord. That was
hilarious.
That was hilarious. Hey, that was some funny nights.
I got a homeboy who was 6 months late with his rent because his wife was sending the preacher her money.
Wow, man.
Wow.
See?
Oh, wow.
See the pop-off rolling in that Maybach while you using that cool water that you anyway.
Send me $14.99 for this Fourcast prayer cough,
Right, exactly.
Where my jacket at?
But I think it's based on the person, because I think for me, I would definitely tell my wife, because she experienced death with her aunt, death with her grandfather. It was unexpected. So me not to tell her and it just happened, that would crush me and my daughter too. So I think it depends on the person, who you are, what your your relationship.
I might put the dress on and see if I get asked a couple.
So now let's ask this question. So we asked it based on today's technology. What if it were the situation in the movie? Do you do what he did, or do you
no?
You don't replace yourself?
And cremate me and put me in the kitty litter.
Because even in this movie, you could tell that things were still off. He wasn't all. It wasn't equal, and it's not me. It's a dude that looked like me. But it's
and
not
then
me.
I'm finna be real petty. You ain't boning my wife, Nick.
I knew that's what you.
When he was in the bed with her.
That's the thing. I mean, in your conscious state, this is your consciousness that you're leaving behind as a
talk to him, Will.
You've taken your consciousness and made them whole.
Talk to him, Will.
You've literally taken your own. You've taken your own consciousness and your memories.
Educate these boys.
Hey, Wilks, you see his conscience turn that light off when he was smashing, though, didn't you?
And that's cool. That's okay.
Hey, no.
Because guess what? When you're at your parents' house smashing, but when you're at your parents' house smashing, you're gonna turn the radio off. What?
Hey.
I mean, your conscience is like, hey, let me turn the radio up because I don't want to hear me smashing up here. Your conscience gonna be like, what's the difference?
Hey, I'm talking about somebody else. I ain't finna be live giving no hall pass.
But that's your conscience.
You gonna cry.
To my point,
now you gonna cry.
Conscience laying wood, though. He laying pipe.
Okay, Wilks, we get it. Okay, we get it.
With a pipe. Get off my woman. I'm blowing this whole thing up. They kidnapped me. They think I'm finna die. They kidnapped me and they poisoned me. I'm gonna die any day now.
But I think with her brother dying now, as we're having this conversation, I wonder if that was a part of his thought process, because she was.
I don't want to give her nothing else. That's right.
She was broken.
Yeah.
They
didn't necessarily say how long, but she went into literally a hole for a period of time to where she wasn't coming out of the room. She wasn't playing her music anymore. She wasn't doing nothing.
Hey, you gonna have to. Hey, I'm gonna cover up these holes, and you better do some push-ups. You gotta be strong, because I'm finna die too.
Well,
hey, what you doing next week? I don't know. I might go tell God hi. You want me to tell him you got it? You better pray. You might be me. Now, see, the reason I ain't like, that's something. Hey, dude, y'all know I love hip hop music, and hip hop music actually covered this, man. It's the Most Def song, album, Black on Both Sides. It's the intro, and he was like, people act like gods, saying they gods because they want to be gods, and we live in this world where people have a God complex, and this is a atypical God complex type of situation. Even as they sit up and watch everything and approve or disapprove of things. That's a God complex.
Right.
So,
it is.
I can't do that. If I'm finna croak, I'm just gonna tell my old lady, look here.
Got a call coming in. I heard it.
Caller on the line. Got a caller on the line.
I'm gonna hold this thought till you get off.
You're calling into the Fourcast. What's your name? What you want to talk about?
It's Raider Kev, man. I want to give my insight on this movie, man. It's a great movie.
Well, nobody asked him, though.
What's up, Raider Kev?
Raider Kev, with your voice, man.
What's going on, fellas? Truly enjoy the show, man. You guys inspired me to watch some great movies, man. I had this movie on my list and I forgot about it. And when you guys talked about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to catch up on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you for following along with all the good ones, the bad ones, the
Mediocre.
the throwback ones.
Yeah, for real, man, for real. But you know, man, I'm gonna tell you, man. Now, see, I don't know if it's because, like, I can be in his shoes with the relationship that he had with his wife, and even when you go back to, like you was just mentioning about her seeing her brother die, right? I definitely would have been on board with this. Definitely, no doubt about it. Because it just shows you the care and love for her heart and for her feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck
So you saying you would do the swap? You would have a duplicate of yourself?
Yes. That'd
I
be
would tell
awesome.
my wife, stay hydrated. You about to cry a lot.
Wow.
So look, you got to find somebody else. Sorry.
No, the thing. No, here's the thing. So, like, okay, if you understand, if everybody understands how hard it is to find true love, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be even harder after I die.
But Ray the Kev, I find fake love every Friday and Saturday night.
And I've been with him. Goes down.
What
fake love.
And you bring your own liquor in there.
What do my brother say? Real love.
We've been there with
Yeah,
Dickie
just lie to me a little.
No, I'm just saying.
It wasn't Miss Now, it was Miss Right Now.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying though is that you know, real love is hard to find, right? And so the way I look at it is, once you have found that, it would be hard for me, knowing there's a way that I can spare my wife and my child, right, and my the child that's unborn,
right,
the hurt of not knowing me. I think that would be a little selfish.
That's a good point, Ray the Kev. We didn't even talk about the unborn child. You're right.
Well, sign me up.
Sign me up. Because and by the way, I'm gonna tell my wife, hey, ain't no food at the repast. These people came here to cry, not to eat.
Even if you want to be like that, that guy that has that macho image of yourself, right? You can also say, well, she can't do no better than me, so why I'm gonna take that away from her?
Hey, well, you ain't gonna go get no lookalike.
It's your self-conscious.
You ain't finna be dating.
Now, Ray the Kev, I'm gonna follow up with this. If you remember when he was sitting down with his son, they were eating dinner, and his son had that
video
had out, and he snapped. I think there was,
that was a dream, though, right?
Yeah.
No,
that was real.
But I think,
again,
reality, or was that a dream?
No, that was him.
Kid never reacted to it because you would have thought when they was in bed, right?
Yeah, because the kid was on the floor here healing.
I wonder, I think that was a dream, wasn't it?
Me too. I thought it was.
I don't know. I feel like once again,
he was trying. That's when he was contemplating whether he was going to do this or not, and so he had a dream that knew him snapped. So that's what made him think maybe I shouldn't, because this guy ain't gonna be like.
The new him probably did snap because self-consciously you want that kid to shut the hell up and stop playing that shit loud.
Well,
can we just be real?
He told him about 4 times, so I mean,
it was gonna happen sooner or later.
I mean,
that's when you learn how to put your kid in a full Nelson.
But I just think
lock it down.
I just think it wasn't all the way him, because you remember they said, I don't think he's ready. Glenn Close was saying he wasn't ready, or the doctor was saying he wasn't ready. But I mean, I think it would have evolved over time. But I think Ray the Kev, you're 100% right. I think it is being selfish, because it's not you. It's not you. It's you, but it's not you.
But
it is selfish.
What part of it is not you though? If your DNA, your thoughts, your memories, your feelings,
your conscious made flesh
is true, what part of it is not you?
Right.
Good
Them is
question.
gonna be you.
Right.
Only person that's not gonna be you is to you. What I'm saying is,
Right.
Talk
Because
to
it's
him,
your
Cam.
conscience.
Talk to him, Cam.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey man, trying times make better people. I don't want her to suffer. I want her to have growth.
okay, well look, all right, HRap, look at it this way. Look at it this way. So would you all right, at some point you're gonna move on, right? So would you rather her be in love with someone else or be in
Yeah.
love with someone?
Ooh,
I don't want-
Kevin
you
is
know what?
dropping it on you, boy.
Since you talking about being selfish, that's being selfish because you are trying to live forever. That's what you're trying to do.
That is not
And
being
no, yes,
selfish.
hell it is. That's exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to live forever. You don't
No,
want
he's
her to
dead
move
regardless.
on. You don't want her to move on to something else, and you trying to get her to stay there with you.
Nah.
No, you're misunderstanding my whole motive behind
No,
it.
that's what it is.
No, hey, hold on. Go ahead, right again. You say what?
It's denying them. That's the whole point.
Okay, that's part. Hey, that's part of nature. Some things die, and then guess what? You become. I wouldn't be who I may not be who I am if my old man had lived. There's certain things about me that the universe said, or the Lord, or Allah, whatever you want to call it. They said this is going to be a better situation.
Boom, shakalaka.
When these things happen.
All right, HRap, this is going to be, look, just hear me
You're
out.
not going to change my mind.
This might sound harsh when I say this, okay? If you today knew that your father had an opportunity to give you all that he was able to offer you, and he decided not to, how would you feel about it?
Because I would be like, okay, because there's no way. Guess what? My father could have went and got a CAT scan, and he chose not to.
See,
because he didn't trust medical professionals.
I'm glad you asked this question.
Because, hey, sometimes hard times make better people. Period.
Yeah, that's true. But again,
right
but think about this. What about so think about this. So I didn't experience.
And if I would have not had experienced those things, I wouldn't be the person I am also. So you can look at it on both sides of the fence. Because I know I wouldn't be the man today if it wasn't for, okay, put it like this, if it wasn't for my grandfather. So if my grandfather had opportunity and he didn't take the opportunity to be there and teach me, I wouldn't be the man I am today.
Well, you could have learned through other networks and other channels like I did. Jimmy Fields, Fred Thomas, Willie Green. I mean, I had a myriad of Ray Shannon. I had a myriad of good people around me. I mean, what you lack, the universe will provide.
Yeah, but we don't know what we don't know. See, it's hard to tell somebody like that, me that, because again, I never experienced a grandmother on my mother's side. So everybody on here who has had a grandmother on their mother's side knows what the love of that grandmother is like. Mm-hmm. I never experienced that. And if I had a chance to, and I'm telling you right now, I can't say today that made me who I am or wouldn't have made me greater than who I am. You don't know what you don't know. But I'd certainly have loved to have the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, opportunity sounds great, but I'm not going to stifle somebody else's growth because I've made a decision that God makes.
But you're just assuming that that's stifling their growth, and that's a huge assumption. That may not be stifling their growth.
Hold on. There's another question too. Now you just said something about what God's decision was, or however you had put it, right? Okay, God gives people the technology and the knowledge to grow, right? Mm-hmm. So if they was able to do that, is that God's will or is it not? Now you're really deep into another big question.
No, I'm not, because medicine is one thing. Cloning somebody is something totally. This is cloning.
Okay.
This is because all you got to do is tell your people, hey, you know what? I'm in a medical situation, and you can prepare for it. You're never gonna prepare for death. I've watched it happen. Me and my mother took that walk. I was there every step of the way, and I thought I was ready. But when it happened right in front of me, I was like, "Damn!" But you know what? I was one way when she transitioned 13 years ago. I'm a different person today. Would I want my mother to be here? Hell yeah. Would I would have wanted to have a teenage conversation with my father? You damn right. My grandmother Lois was dope as hell. I wish she could have stayed. But sometimes they ain't here. And it's a reason for those things.
Yeah, I get you.
But I'm not going to supplant somebody in my significant other's life saying, okay, because as Wilks, one of y'all highlighted, what happens if this dude does snap? What happens if it's a glitch in the matrix? Right. Because this is a man-made thing. Yeah. So, like, I'm not lying. I was thinking when he was like, "Tell me you love me, tell me you love me," just being me, I was like, "What is he finna put the pause on or something?" I thought he finna hit her or something because I'm thinking about the dream, and it's just you never know what will happen. Things in nature happen.
I think because they literally have taken your consciousness, your thoughts, your movements, and they have made them into flesh-like existence, there are going to be some underlining, like that dream, like you said, he might snap, okay, but there's been many a times underlining that he might have been pushed to his limit. So guess what? The conscious is going to continue those things and continue to act those things out. Whether the human form, your soberness, is going to say, "Oh, I better back up. No, that's not how I conduct myself." But your consciousness, just like with the devil and the angel on one shoulder, that consciousness is going to continue on through that to exist without you because you're not around to stop it. So that consciousness is just out there running freely and operating freely. So it's going to have that underlining, like, oh, it might snap, unless she realizes that, oh, wait a minute, you've never acted like this before. Well, it's your consciousness now. It's continuing those things that you had the reins on.
Right.
And it was clearly a difference. The dog let you know it was a difference.
That's real, though. That's real.
The dog like
the dog gonna tell you every time. The dog gonna
shit.
No joke.
If you look closely at the young man, when he was sitting there with the boy's son, the young man was enjoying his company, but he was looking at him sideways, like,
yeah.
He couldn't. He was too young to go, "You ain't my daddy."
Yeah,
but he knew
because that consciousness. That consciousness. You don't tell everybody or show everybody your consciousness. That's what I'm saying. You've literally taken that and you've manifested that consciousness, that thing that you've hidden away. Now you've made it flesh. You can't hide it because those things you once hid. That's why we always pray, "Oh Lord, search me to see me worthy." Find those things that are not of you and remove those things. But now you've taken that consciousness in those things and you've made them through science. You've made those things flesh and they exist. So it's like you're going to have those underlining things there that are going to progress.
I don't trust nothing that a man made versus what God made.
Go ahead, Randy.
Well, hold on, but listen, but we're working on the premise. We're thinking about reality and what we can think of today and what we can accept today. What they presented to us was that every conscious thought, every unrememberable thought, everything that was in your subconscious and conscious mind is now flesh. So now, whatever he did was something. Who's to say that the real God wouldn't have done the same thing? Right. We just seen it. It's just like you seeing yourself do something. And you say, "I can't believe I did that."
Right. But your consciousness will do it.
Right. So who's to say he wouldn't have done the same thing? We just believe because we see it. Oh, I would have acted differently.
And I think the bottom line is we can talk about it hypothetically right now. When you're actually in that moment, how would we actually react and what would we do? Because the moment, actually being in that moment is different than us talking about it right
because
now.
I've never seen anything that a man made that worked perfectly.
Oh, it
I
won't.
doubt if I ever will.
Well, God made us, and we don't work perfectly.
No, I ain't never seen nothing that a man made that works the way it's supposed to work all the time.
And again, God made us, and we don't work the way we supposed to work all the time.
At the end of the day, hell no, I'm not doing it. I wouldn't even consider it. It wouldn't even be. It wouldn't even be. I'll blow my fucking brains out before I do it. Man, you know,
load them up,
a pistol and shoot myself in the head.
Clearly, but we appreciate you for being open-minded about it.
I'm not open-minded at all.
I want to go back to what Ray Kevin touched on, and it's funny because when I watched this on my second watch or my playback, Ray Kev said on both sides of the fences. Well, to me, when I saw these subtle things, it's just like when that wall opened and the stairs were there, two sides of the coin, one side of the coin on the other side of the coin. It's like you had these, I'm trying to make a decision. Well, she's already got your decision made up. Even when him and the lady were sitting out by the water, which I can't think of her name because she was a comedian too, but
Aquafina.
Okay, yes, Aquafina. So he's dressed in like black and she's in like gray and white. It's almost like that contrast is there throughout the entire movie. You're on both sides. It's no clear cut way to an indecision. So it was definitely a lot of yo-yoing and back and forth. But I those little subtle things that I saw there, that was pretty interesting how they dropped those.
And so appreciate you, Ray Kev, for calling.
Hang up on him because he done caused all kind of problems.
One more point.
Go ahead.
I just want to say I love the way you said it earlier. The technology was realistic. I love that. I can see that in the future. It wasn't like some of these other sci-fi movies where you had something that you just couldn't imagine could happen. Right. The things that they were doing, I imagine those things occurring. So I love the movie, man. From a technical side and from, just the way the whole concept. I loved it. But all right, guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate
it.
Great phone call.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Make sure to follow his YouTube channel. He's also on Built for This Network and also on Wednesdays with you, HRap. Thursday, excuse me, on Built for This Network.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get that kind of debate on Siskel and Ebert, I promise you that.
They wouldn't even answer the phone.
They didn't. They died. They let their body die.
Now, look, the one thing they didn't touch on, would that person live on or would they eventually die? They never mentioned that.
She did mention that. Glenn Close did mention it.
So what is she? I
missed it.
Yeah, they had him to the point of where his illness, or not illness, but she said they altered his DNA strand. They pulled that out. It's like they could detect that he had an illness, so they removed that illness from him. So
but he'll still die from something else.
Yeah, right. He might. I'm pretty sure he would probably die from something else, though.
Big shout out to.
He's not gonna live forever.
Yeah, that's the part I didn't hear. Emma, thank you for tuning in. Big on Noise in the building. Thank you for tuning in. He said I'm a Samsung user. I'm boycotting watching anything on Apple. Hey, did you borrow somebody's login? You know how we do it. Mahershala Ali, man, to be top 5. I don't know if I say top 5, but he top.
He's getting there, man.
He heading for it.
Mo Cheese, thank you for tuning in. When you do this blade, though, I think that's gonna take it to the higher level because he's already there. But we did have somebody that wanted to call in, Mike Neal.
Mike Neal.
I'm gonna put the phone number.
I wish Rated Care was back on. Because the question I have is, what if he drop dead next week or get hit by a bus?
What about it?
You body double, he get hit next week, and you sitting in that office.
You tried.
That's it. That's a wrap.
You tried.
Now, so the other thing I wanted to bring up, so was he was just gonna die at that? I don't even know what
facility. At that facility, yeah.
Yeah, where Aquafina was just.
Aquafina is everything. That girl, give her props too. She did everything. Shout out to DJ Knox. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so and I'll say this: when I realized his wife was pregnant, that hit me like, wow, this dude, not only he's got to deal with his wife being pregnant, he's got to deal with the disease he has that he's not upfront and honest with, and he's got to deal with the death of her brother that's affected him and her. Like, the dude really had a lot going on. So that hit me pretty hard when I seen that.
See, I think that goes back to, when, of course they always say when another child is born, someone dies, or when someone dies, another child is born. I think that was a metaphor or some kind of touch on that to me. I mean, I could be, but you're right, Ben. I mean, that's just how I saw it, though.
All right.
I'm just saying, you see homeboy get hit by a car. Do you want to come back then? Do it again?
No.
Meaning Mahershala Ali's character, the real him, does he want to come back and or whatever? So did his wife, you're saying in your scenario, his wife knows that he got hit by a car or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
It's just over. He tried. That other dude got hit by a car. It's done.
Because he definitely can't come back and be like, "Oh, it's a miracle. I survived the car hit."
Yeah, really. He gone.
It's over.
Yeah.
That's why I'm croaking. Deal with it, motherfucker.
They fixed me.
Now, one quote that I did like was when I don't know who said it, but they said, "Stay in the memories, don't break the flow." To me, that felt like a relatable quote to life. Like, stay in those memories, remember those memories.
Yeah, because he was trying to. When the memories got painful, he was checking out.
Yeah,
and she needed him to stay in it so they would transfer properly.
Yeah, but I think that's real. Just with us, and
that's right.
Stay in those memories. Remember those things.
Yeah.
Don't forget those precious moments, but also those tough moments. But
that's a life question too, right there. Whether
he had to relive his whole life, basically.
Yeah, that's a life question too. I think it came up on the show that I was on with HRap this past week, where you talk about the past. So, there's a conflict out there whether you're trying to learn from the past or whether you dwell on the past. There's a thin line. Right. I once wrote a blog that said, glance back, focus forward, which meant you had to look back, but don't dwell. Your focus has to be forward, but you got to look back to see what done took place. But that's a very difficult, question for folks.
Yeah.
Definitely. In this movie, in the sketching, the person that he was sketching falling, was that the brother?
That was the brother, yeah.
Was that the brother falling in his sketches? Because he mentioned that he was thrown from the mountain bike and then he landed in the pine trees.
Right. Yeah.
I think it was.
Because he mentioned it. He said that was him drawing him,
and he had plenty of dreams with him up in those trees. Yeah.
Right. And his son was saying, "You haven't drawn since what was his name?
Uncle, what's his name?
Andre. Since Andre died, but he was drawing.
Andre 3001.
I'm gonna put the call-in number in the chat there. So
Mike back, little Mike back.
Yeah, bless that TV ministry.
Yeah, put the cash app up there, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't have a good answer for that question, HRap. I will be on the phone till late. Don't worry. All right, so the moment when he met himself, like, you've seen, and I wanted to bring this up. You've seen where there's doubles, and you're like, okay, it's right. This, to me, this was different.
Different, yeah, man.
It's your self-conscious.
That person was about to go home, and then when he was talking to his wife, I would have probably responded the same way, like, bro, you a little too comfortable.
Yeah.
I should be. I'm your conscience. I'm you.
See, in all movies, that's a great point, Ben, because in all movies we've watched up to this point where they had a clone, they didn't send their conscience with them, and that's a game changer.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But that was
and
hard.
Most people can't grasp that concept.
Yeah.
That this is you in every way,
Right.
And maybe the most important way.
But yeah, when he was talking to his wife, he was like, "Nah, we gotta cut this off. Nah, You're not doing that. You're not doing that.
I'm you.
Yeah.
I'm you in every sense of the word.
To Wilks' point, when he was telling him I think he said you were blaming her because of what happened or something to that effect.
He knew that.
Said she
Yeah.
abandoned
That was
you.
his
Thought she
conscience.
abandoned you.
You're right, Wilks. That
That's
was
how
his
he knew.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
was telling him what he already knew, but he didn't want to say it out loud.
Exactly. I'm your conscience. I'm going to say and do the things you're not willing to do. I am that I am the suppression and the oppression that you've pushed in the back of your mind.
Right. That's real. That's real. And this movie really had me thinking. I was just like, wow, at the end. I was hoping there would have been something else at the end of it, but you know, this was definitely
It was a dope movie, but I was like, I'm croaking.
Oh, just cremate me. I don't need nobody there.
Right. I tell God you said hi.
Yeah, don't waste no time. Now, when the trumpet sound, I may have a problem coming out of the kitty litter, but we'll work on that.
Yeah, that's
That may be
a whole nother topic, ain't it?
That is.
That might be a problem.
A whole nother topic.
Yeah.
For me, I just don't want to be nowhere near fire. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want fire in my life at all.
You might have to get used to it.
Don't even cook at my funeral. Hell, just use finger foods and sandwiches and stuff. Don't light no candles, nothing. I don't even say the word fire.
What in hell do you want?
Don't say nothing about fire.
Ain't no food in mine. You can't hear the cry, not to eat. Cry, nigga. Cry.
So when they called him Jack, and then they converted him to Cameron. Yeah. Well, when he was there, and then the real Cameron, if you will, came home. I think that was obviously the climax of the movie, just because he wasn't supposed to do that. He was supposed to stay at the spot. So when that moment came, it was kind of all leading up to this point. You knew, honestly, I thought they were gonna like fight it out, like Gemini Man. I thought they were about to, whoever died, that's the one who get to stay. That's what
to the death.
Wow.
Like,
the dog didn't want no part of it. He ran out the doggy door.
We looked at one, looked at the other. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I'm good.
I'm out. I'll see you. I'm out.
Like we joking, but that's the part. That's the part that's the glitch. That's the thing that like it's like with me, you know, because I deal with the ancestors a lot, and that's the thing. Your conscience is really you, like you're saying, Wilks, and that dog saw artificial you. That at the end of the day, they can act, think, talk, fart, laugh, joke.
But here's the thing: is the dog seeing an artificial you, or once again, is it seeing a side of you that you don't show?
No, but the dog don't. The
dog conscious is a deep thing.
That's a deep thought.
Nah, because the dog knows the difference in you, like children.
We don't know what the hell a dog knows.
Children.
Look, I got a story to piggyback on. I got a story.
We don't know what the hell a dog knows.
Well, tell you what, I used to have this pit bull. My dog never barked at anybody, never growled at anybody. And there was this dude who came to my door. He was doing some community service. Later, and my dog was trying to get at him. Later on, we found out homeboy.
Like the old people say, they know that the dogs know your spirit.
Later on, we found out homeboy was molesting children.
Wow.
Man.
My dog also used to sit on my aunt's front lawn. And everybody that walked past, my dog would just let him touch him. This dude who was selling heroin walked past, my dog bit him on the hand.
Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Bow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay.
Wow.
You getting shot for that. Now, to piggyback off the HRap story, we had The dog I had when I was in high school, all my friends would come over. It was all good.
What was his name?
This one friend.
What was the dog name?
Wow.
Don't tell me George Clinton.
Brandy.
Yeah, her eyes look like Brandy's.
Okay.
The OJ song?
The singer Brandy.
The OJs?
This fool said the singer Brandy.
That's the first thing that came to mind with me and my sister singing.
Ray J. Brandy, man.
Oh, I was thinking OJ's. Kind of miss you, Brandy. I didn't know what was going on.
Tell the story, Ben.
If all the friends would come over, Brandy was cool with all the friends. This one friend, though, she just did not like this dude. And he was shady. He was. He would steal, and he didn't steal from me, but he would steal from some of the other friends. And he was dogs do have a sense.
I get it. Yeah, they do. I'm just teasing, but yeah, they know something.
Now, would y'all? I would have loved, Ray K. I would love to see a quick little fight scene to the death, just to see who get to stay, who get to go. I mean,
well, shit. Obviously, the Jack was gonna win.
Yeah, because he was too shit.
Yeah. Who knows though? Because the real Cameron might have known some secret spots that
beat me.
That Jack wouldn't know.
What you mean secret spot? They done said he know everything that he know. He's not getting this.
Know everything. You may not know everything.
He know what. Well, he also know when he busted up his knee in high school. He gonna kick himself in the knee first.
But Jack know it too, man.
I'm just saying he going. All right. He don't know what I've done. He knows what you've done. He don't know what you're gonna do.
How do you know Jack ain't gonna hit him the knee first? He knew about the same knee.
Because Jack ain't ready to fight. Cameron is.
Oh, Lord. I love it.
In Ben's scenario, Cameron would have been the aggressor because Cameron don't want Jack there.
Yeah,
so he would have attacked and went for his weak spots.
Jack would have knocked the seizure out of Cameron's ass.
Hence, having the dream of Jack snapping on his son at the table, he would have been the aggressor. Part of his conscious, it's suppression.
So your conscious mind predicts the future now.
Your conscious, right? Well, what do you wait a minute? Hold on. They go back to the scripture. Hold on. They go back. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. They go back to the scripture.
Guess what? We all know what deja vu is, right?
Right.
Or I literally have had one of those moments on this show.
But
that conscious mind predict the future.
But like Pastor said yesterday, you come here expecting something. Your future self is expecting, hey, when that meal comes to my table, I'm expecting for that meal to be exactly what that meal is, what I ordered. That's your future self. When you walk in, that's all happening in the future. Of course, you're going to expect you're going to predict it because you've expected what's about to occur in the future from that right at this moment. Yeah, of course.
So what I'm saying is this: in Ben's scenario, Cameron comes home and attacks Jack. That means if Cameron doesn't attack Jack first, he wasn't expecting it, and he has the ups.
Why not?
Because if he was expecting it, Jack would have attacked Cameron.
No, he's right in that scenario. Jack wouldn't have expected it because their conscience stopped at the point. In other words, it was only up to that point. So from that point forward, once Jack was created, their consciousness was separate at that point. So he would not have been able to predict that Cameron's going to come after me. But what I'm saying is that regardless whether it was a sneak attack or not, if you don't take me out in the first blow, Cameron, I'm going to whoop your ass because you got all this seizure stuff on your head.
That would probably be stronger.
Because Jack would have messed him up.
In a long-term fight. But if he would have came in there with a gun, it would have been over.
He needed to come in there.
So if you would have came in there and got him in one of them, got him in a chokehold.
Right.
Now his wife would have woke up though, so that would have kind of killed that scenario.
No, because then you just say, when I got knocked out at the hospital, these crackers, they tried to take me out, and I come back, baby. I'm finna die tomorrow, but I'm back tonight.
But you would have been like, I don't know about that.
HRap said, I got it, man.
So that whole scene when they're there, when he sneaks into the house, Dawk, what was your thoughts? How did you feel like that was going to go? He sneaks into the house.
I can tell you more of what surprised me, and that was that I didn't know if they were going to fight. I thought they may have was going to get busted one way or the other. Mm-hmm. So what surprised me is the fact that they ended up working together. You know, because that's his consciousness or whatever. He knows what he feels, what he wants, etc. Exactly. So he knew all you want is to come say goodbye. You know, so let me help you get there. So they exchanged the rings. They, exchanged whatever they did to make sure. Okay, let's go ahead and let you have this moment. So that's what surprised me. I don't know what I expected, but the element that surprised me was them working together.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought he was going to try to smash him and pop off quick.
What? You thought he was going to try to kill Jack?
Yeah, I'm out.
He thought
one more round for gusto. One more dance to the horizontal.
He wasn't going to try to do that because he knew he could have had a seizure right when he was.
Hey, then they'd rushed me to the hospital, and then they rolled me out the ambulance on the way out, put me in the Uber that's going to come. And they rolled me out the Uber, then Cameron jumped in there. I'm straight. And then they EKG'd me, and I'd have been cool.
I agree with you, Raider Kev. He wasn't younger, but he was healthier.
Yeah, they're saying
he didn't have that illness. Yeah, so.
Apparently, Raider Kev missed part of the movie. He was not younger.
He wasn't smelling it.
It's not Benjamin Button.
Yeah, they didn't make Jack 17.
Hey, young blood.
Hey, youngster.
Yeah, I love it.
All right,
strong.
Now that's an old word right there, man. Exactly.
All right, what was your thoughts?
You know what? Of course, in my mind, I thought he was going to knock him out right there. I thought he was going to walk in and knock him out at the table and just kind of tuck him somewhere at the table. But I wouldn't expect them to work together, collab like that, because he just kind of, one last moment with my wife, and and then I got to get out of here. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I was surprised to see them work together though. But I thought he was going to knock him up.
Let me respond on a serious note. I thought the jig was going to be up, and then even when he went up to the room and slept with his wife, like, bro, you ain't smelling like the same soap I had on tonight.
The dude was just outside. That's
right. He was just and then he got to bed with a black woman. She ain't told him you smell like outside. Come on,
they ain't writing the letter of the good times, man.
Hey, I ain't never met no black woman. Hey, walk your ass outside, man, and walk out your house 3 times. When you come in the house, your wife gonna say,
"She ain't no chicken head black chick." So she ain't gonna.
Man, every black woman in the world know what outside.
But you just said she in the future.
Hey, that's coming in the future too. You smell like outside.
Now I got another follow-up aspect to that. They changed clothes. We honestly don't know which one was which. What if they swapped clothes and the dude went back to the spot and it was the real Cameron that was there? We don't know.
Man, get out of here.
We don't know.
We do.
How you know?
Yeah.
How you know?
I was gonna say
you're right, because the Jack. Well, I would assume that Jack didn't go back because Jack wouldn't be interested in watching, because he has really.
There you go. Why would he? That's right. Why would he say, "Tell me you love me"? He was doing that. Jack was doing that for Cameron. Yeah, Cameron wouldn't do that for Jack.
They never went back to the mole
that thing before they showed that video, and when they swapped. I was thinking maybe they really swapped and the real Cameron was there. But you're right. That video.
Jack wouldn't go willingly because again, at that point, Jack, because he is Cameron's consciousness, he felt a certain kind of way about that family, and he's like, man, we can't do that to them.
Right.
He saw his family the same way Cameron did when Cameron was trying to talk himself out of it or go back on it and say, I can't do this. But Jack was talking to him, and that's why it worked, because Jack was talking to him.
Yeah.
Touching on what he knows he feels deep inside.
He's saying his body tissue.
Wow.
I don't know if body tissue had an age.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. Well, technically, his body tissue was less than 30 days old. So, okay.
Oh, wow.
That means his ass can't fight.
Exactly.
And then he got his ass. Jack would have got the hell beat out of him.
But I thought it was a good touch. You got to say bye to his son.
Mm-hmm.
You got to say bye to his wife.
And, but I'm like HRap. I'd have been smashing if I'm going back to say bye.
He was too emotional. He could be smashing while he crying.
Hey, why not? A good cry screw. Everybody needs every now and then.
Hey, I ain't finna die and ain't get no more coochie. I'm getting my last shot of coochie too.
Now the one thing
I love going bang bang bang.
Wow.
Like, oh, see, that's why he was crying. I ain't ever gonna hit this. That's why he was crying.
For me, I needed to kind of close everything out. I needed to see the real Cameron die, which they didn't put that part.
Wait a minute, man. Wow. Put Red Kev comment up there. And he done wrote 3 different damn movies talking about that wasn't in the script.
Right, yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Man.
Yeah.
Why you need to see Cameron die, man? Why?
Because that would have been a person
very morbid. You know what was going to happen. They don't need
you already knew.
What was saying? I missed it.
He said he needed to see Cameron die.
I don't need to see him die. Fuck that.
You know he gonna die.
This is
morbid, bro.
Matter of fact, he done had 3 too many seizures in the movies, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, he should have went in there and tried to smash that Chinese lady since he was free, man.
Might as well.
Again, man, it was not in the script. I'm adding to the script. Okay, they need to give me some director cut.
Look at Spielberg over here.
Quiet on the
Kel Spielberg in his mouth. Now he the director.
Yeah, but overall, I think
we talking after this. Nick.
Well, he already done said it.
Yeah, he said y'all gonna be on the phone for a couple hours.
Yeah. That's my boy.
Close the door on the whole thing.
Well, me and Ray K could start a conversation on flipping heads and tails.
Mm-hmm.
All right, final thoughts. Look,
man, we got started at 8 or something. It's 6:30 or something. This show be too short.
Hour and 30 minutes, man.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
Time flies when you're having fun, and this may be this for me may be one of our best shows, just because I've laughed so much today on this show.
When Ray K came in, it just
fucked it up. I mean,
Ray K had a great Wow.
Wow. But hey, calls on the show, that's a new element, man. That is money. Game changer.
Great.
I love it.
I love it.
Ain't no calls on the HRap show. Don't even think it's happening. I don't want to talk to half y'all.
Sorry we can get to your call. That was Michael, right?
Yeah, Mike Neal.
Did he ever call though?
Nah, he had a call.
That's all right. We'll get him next time.
No, I enjoyed it. I had to go back and rewatch it. Of course, like I said, I thought the first go around for me it was garbage.
Don't be agreeing with him, Janice.
That was just me. But yeah, no, I love the sketching. I love the technology that was in it. The conscious, like I said, I didn't catch that at first, but the consciousness pretty much made flesh. I mean, that was eye opening for me. I mean, that was pretty serious. So I enjoyed it.
All right, Dawk.
Yep, same thing, man. Again, I can understand why some people. Did we ever check what Rotten Tomatoes and all that other kind of stuff gave this? Because I normally will check that on the movie. Let's do that right quick.
No tomatoes for me.
79%.
Okay, on Rotten Tomatoes, what? 6.8 out of 10 for IMDb and Metacritic 66. So I can see why a lot of them would give it a poor rating because, again, nowadays a slow-moving movie, a slow to develop, most people are out on it right away. For me, I enjoy and they didn't waste time. They didn't, like, for instance, setting up what the future was like. They didn't go too long on trying to set up what the future was like.
Right.
They did it with just a very few things, you know, with the way the subway was set up, with the way the driverless cars were, with the, you know, so they did that relatively quickly, you know. So again, I can see why some people wouldn't like it, but I enjoyed the setup.
Yeah. HRap.
I feel the way y'all feel. The only difference is the concept, the God concept, the God thing. I don't like people that.
Yeah, I'm with
I'm
it.
a conspiracy theorist at the end of the day. That's where I'm at with this. I'm a conspiracy theorist, and when I read this, I mentioned this. Y'all heard me mention this 1,000 times. I read this book 32 years ago now. Well, 31 years ago now. And the book basically said, when you see stuff like this, these are things that the people have in motion. And every since I've seen that movie, ever since I've seen that movie, I've seen everything that I've seen in movies have come to fruition. So I always worry about things like this, and I hate to be pro-black man and, you know, conspiracy brother and all that, but we also in the country with 27,000 black women have disappeared. So this kind of thing scares the hell out of me, to be perfectly honest. That's why I didn't like that aspect of it, because, you know, it is what it is. But I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to watch it again because I enjoyed it. Because I like when I enjoy a movie this much, I like to watch and see what I actually missed.
Yeah.
So, I liked it as much as y'all. It's just who I am.
Right to be concerned, because I mean, y'all saw that video that I sent y'all through the messenger group, where this African guy was talking about, you know, them controlling us through the population, through reproductive, you know, measures or restricting
was it real estate?
There you so he said that the first real estate you need to own is the one in your mind.
Right.
The second real estate you need to own is the one that's hanging between your legs.
Right.
You know, and he's like, unfortunately, we don't own those two pieces of real estate, you know, and we all trying to chase the other real estate out there, and you don't even own these, you know. So basically he was like, we need to take seriously how we're reproducing, while we're reproducing, what we're reproducing, et cetera, et cetera. And he's saying that that's where the system is, because they know who we are, they know our power, they know where we come from, they know we are royalty, right? And so as a result, how do you get rid of royalty? You hurt their seed.
You hurt the seed.
Yeah, that's real.
Cut them off.
Yeah. And they doing it both ways. They hurting your mind and they hurting your seed. You know, they're attacking you in both ways.
Mind, body, and soul.
Absolutely.
They attacking you, and we don't know it. You know, so again, right to be concerned.
Yeah, it's just, man, this kind of thing scares the hell out of me. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it's just, I'm telling you, man, I wish I had copies of that book so I could mail them to y'all, because this dude, even as see, like, y'all don't remember this, Wilks and Ben, but Dawk remember when cash station cars used to say cash station. Remember back then, Dawk? And this dude predicted the debit card.
Yeah.
In 1988. I mean, he remember, Dawk, again, Geraldo Rivera was the poor man's friend, allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
He predicted Geraldo going on the other side in that book. So ever since I read that book had a tremendous impact on me. And I wish I saw it once again, but it was $900.
Wow.
And then that same author, he predicted 9/11, and after 9/11 happened, he died in November. So
of 2011. But that's real though. Whatever's in movies now, you're right, it's already in motion. It's not like oh, that's a thought. They're doing it right now. They're not gonna tell us, but they're telling us through the movies. But
that's what he said. The movies are designed to desensitize you. He said, God made it so your enemy has to tell you his plan. Now it's up to you to decide, are you paying attention to the plan?
That's what's up. That's
so
what's up.
That's why I'm not messing with these.
Yeah. So for me, I thought it was great. I love these kind of movies because it has you thinking Like I think the Marvel and the movies like that, those are great. But like Inception, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yes,
just because
that's
it
a
went
movie. I
so
love that.
many different levels, and this was on the same thing. And it also went. I like how it went back and forth because it went through. It was telling his story through his memories, basically.
There you go.
And I thought that was
That was beautiful, man. I mean, I loved it.
Mahershala Ali is a great actor.
Big Illinois hit the note. I think he hit the nail on the head with that 5-star actor.
He's that at that Stanfield where he's killing it. Whatever role he's in,
and he ain't even had to wear no stockings or nothing. and see that's what brought about the question though, guys. Like why do the brothers don't blow it? Like, okay, you got Wesley Snipes and Denzel, and who's after them?
Right.
Because Wesley Snipes and Denzel came around. Because I remember, as a matter of fact, my pastor, Reverend Dodd, he said he met Wesley Snipes filming Wildcats in Chicago. That's 82, 83. So Wesley Snipes and Denzel are close in age. And then you don't see anybody for a long time. And then somebody pop up, and then Will Smith pops up. But then Will Smith was close to his 30s at that point. And now he in his 50s. He looked damn good, but it's like he can't play a young dude. And then, it's just like, damn, wow. Like Michael B. Jordan, he was Wallace on The Wire. He was a teenager then, but then we don't see him again until he's like 29, 30.
You had the idea, though.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
That was for Wilks.
Yeah.
On The Wire, he talked about the dude that invented the chicken nuggets for McDonald's.
He always had the idea.
He said, still had the idea, though.
He still had the idea, though.
They were basically telling him they ain't pay that dude shit that he just because he invented. He's still trying down in the basement working on some other
making
shit.
some more shit.
So Wilder said, still had the idea, though.
No, I didn't hear what you said. I don't know about that.
That goes back to Fat Tuesdays where somebody was mentioning basically there was a black comic every decade.
Yeah,
that's right.
Now I think in acting now though, that there's a large group of black actors that are killing it. But
right,
I think
because like
you said with Snipes and all them, it wasn't as flooded with a lot of
because the natural course of action
Jackson was putting out a lot of movies,
The next up should have been Malcolm Jamal Warner, Kadeem Harris, and them, and then they just disappeared. And then they become what is called working actors.
Yeah,
huh?
They became.
I don't think they were good.
No, I'm just saying, you'll never know.
They weren't good. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you, Dawk. I don't think they were that good as far as feature films, but TV shows that was their lane.
Yeah, because we need to find out like who was the the question. One of the questions would be, and you're right. The answer is we probably would never know, but who is the actor that you feel was good enough that never got a chance? And again,
one of them is Blair Underwood. Blair Underwood, nice looking brother, very good actor, and he was next up.
Yeah, I was gonna say Blair Underwood with L.A. Law, right? I guess.
Yeah, he was on L.A. Law, and they were saying he's the next Denzel because he was following Denzel's path. He was staged, and he did very good on L.A. Law. The ladies liked him.
Yeah, he should have drank the blood in the ceremony.
Yeah, he should have wore the skirt.
Because you know what they say. You don't drink the blood.
That's your ass.
You got a choice.
Hey,
drink this blood. Or give us this ass. One of the two.
You drink the blood or you go over Kevin Spacey house.
Yeah, one of the two.
Hey.
If not, it's gonna be LA Law, buddy.
It's gonna be
it's gonna be Weinstein the bus, baby. Weinstein the bus.
Ready for you, buddy.
Yeah. You ever want to get off St. Elsewhere? Drink this.
Yeah. Switch it around a little bit. Down the hatch, buddy.
Like hey, this is something that very few people remember. Don Cheadle was on Golden Girls.
Yep, I seen that clip. I did not know. I didn't know
he was also on the spinoff Golden Place. Was it Golden Place or Golden Palace? They had a spinoff of Golden
Yeah,
Girls.
but
They
I can't
owned it.
remember the name.
What?
Yeah,
I
they
can't remember
owned
the
it.
name of it. They did.
Yeah, they owned like a beachfront property. It was like a
Oh,
hotel.
I remember that.
He worked there for a while, like at the not the front desk or whatever, but
Yeah, he was like the front desk, front end manager. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. It only had one season.
Mic it up, baby.
Get to the ratings. 1 to 5 mics. Those of you that have watched it and are tuning in, give us your rating. We're gonna go to Dawk first.
I'm gonna give it 4 mics. I was probably at about a 3.5 before the show. After the show, I raised it to 4 because I realized some more thought-provoking stuff. So I'm giving it credit for that. So I'm gonna say right at about a 4 micer.
Okay. HRap?
No way.
No. Okay.
I give 4.
You got me on that one 4. Okay. All right. Wilks?
I was gonna say a 4. I was gonna say a 4.5, but I was gonna put 4. Okay, 4.
Yeah, it's not 4.
All right, for me, I've been thinking this since I watched it. Y'all didn't really change my minds that much. I'm gonna actually go with a 5. I thought this was top tier. I thought this was top tier.
Huh?
I didn't find any moments where, I mean, obviously we was in the house and he didn't get caught.
If if Glenn Close would have showed Meryl Streep booty, I'd have probably gave it a.
this was right on my alley here. I'm gonna give it a 5.
All right, that's interesting.
If that was Meryl Streep,
that was Meryl Streep's daughter booty, probably.
Nah. Okay, right, that's interesting, man.
Yeah. All right, so coming up next week on the Fourcast, we was talking about it, Master, which is I think this may be our first thriller. We haven't done a thriller yet, have we?
Michael Jackson in this?
Wow. This fool said he. And not very good either. Wow. He said he. With bass, not soprano, with bass.
Yeah, that was tenor. But Regina Hall, and this cover, she looked like she either scared or she about to stab somebody. One or the other.
Regina Hall, most commonly known as HRap kid stepmom.
Yeah, no kidding.
But that should be a good one. Regina Hall is definitely a great actor. It premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in January. So that's what's coming up next. Let's go to Queen 3 and King. What's coming up tomorrow on?
Tomorrow we are talking about online dating. We will have our guest host from Man Talk Mondays on, Derek Smith, the thought engineer, and John Yogi Lewis, the comedian. So that ought to be fun, talking about online dating.
All right, Rated Kev, how many mics? Okay. Rated Kev.
Anybody listen to Rated Kev? Ask Janice.
Yeah, for real. Just in case, ask Janice what's her rating. What's coming up tomorrow on End of the Bench?
I got a few things, but I got to get a brand new favorite car. I got to get it. I had 2 dream cars. The new Bronco, the new Bronco, because the new Bronco was.
It's made by Ford. I'm out.
Yep. I'm done with Ford.
Hey, Wilks can talk to you about that.
I'll never drive a Ford again.
My wife has a Bronco.
I mean, I respect the Mustang, but Ford
no, I love.
And I got Ford stock, so go Ford. But I ain't driving one of them. I do.
I ain't never gonna drive a Ford again, and I'll tell
but
you.
why? Oh, you gonna tell us tomorrow?
Tell you why tomorrow. Ford is well.
Nope, don't tell it. You got to let them tune in. If they don't know that, if you tell them that,
hold what you got. Hold what you got.
Like Don King said, don't give away what we can sell.
You know, we said that before you came on in the green room.
Oh, really?
I said, hey, like Dawk said.
Don't give away what we can sell.
He said if we would have got Glenn's booty, it would have been on mic.
No, man. We don't want to know your rating, man. We're Jake Spice. We ain't messing with you, man.
Wow.
But it's y'all actually said something tonight that's part of the show. We've gotten to the point in the United States of America that look, we need to start supporting policy, not people. Yeah. When you black in America, let's not forget, in the 1880s, 1890s, those were the Democrats that was funding the Ku Klux Klan. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget that. So I'll talk about that too. And and the reason we need to start realizing we need to follow the Fred Hampton model. And I'll tell y'all what the Fred Hampton model is. I'll tell y'all when we get off. And then I'll tell y'all tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
All right, cool. Cool.
And Rated Kev can't watch. Janice can watch, not Rated Kev.
All right, we thank everybody for tuning in to
But Rated Kev.
Fourcast. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. And also make sure to download PS3 TV on your Roku.
You have not downloaded that on Roku?
If you have not already, we're adding new content every day, live shows every day. Just added some music videos, added a documentary. We are looking for filmmakers as well. So we want content on there for everybody. So definitely make sure to do that. That's on your to-do list until next week. If you need a login, a password, just hit me up. I got you on that. Or I got the other, just hit me up on the hotline, help you get on whatever thing you don't have. But coming up next week, Master, which is on Amazon. So you can watch that as we go into next week. And HRap, go ahead and close this out.
As I always say, man, salute to Reggie O'Shea, a.k.a. Combat Jack and Craig Smith. And Reggie O'Shea gave me the inspiration to say, dream your dreams and man up and woman up and live your dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white, and life with dreams flows in Technicolor surround sound. And as usual, if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God. God.
Peace.